When I look back at the first quarter of my adult life, it was all about one thing, and that's law. Becoming a lawyer wasn't just a job, it was an identity, and one I thought I'd carry for the rest of my life. But little did I know how things would change. Hi, I'm Amber Hoffman, and this is part of a series where I'm breaking down the quarters of my adult life, from lawyering to travel blogging to entrepreneurship, and how each quarter shaped who I am today. In this video, I'll take you into my first quarter, what it was like to climb the ladder as a corporate tax attorney, why I walked away, and the lessons that still guide me to this day. I've always been a hard worker. I had my first job at 14 and kept working straight through college and law school. Diners, malls, bartending, waiting tables. I knew how to hustle. I also was not one of those idealistic law students who became a lawyer to make the world a better place. I knew lawyers could make a good living, and I wanted security. My mother didn't have a lot of financial independence when I was growing up, but I wanted that for myself. So when I became a lawyer, I carried that same work ethic from my youth. I clerked at the US tax court while earning another law degree, yes, a second law degree in tax law. And I eventually joined one of the largest law firms in the world and specialized in corporate tax. I was handling billion-dollar cases and fighting the IRS for a living. I was working crazy hours, and on paper, I was the definition of making it. And to be fair, I had the financial security I was looking for when I first decided to go to law school. But here's what people don't tell you about life in the big firms. Success comes at a cost. I saw partners who looked powerful in the office but were struggling at home. Stress related illnesses, heart attacks, divorces. That was the reality behind the goal of getting that corner office. I also had to deal with clients, some of whom enjoyed their power trips and egos over a young female attorney. I was on track for partnership myself, and the firm had invested years into grooming me for it. But there was this question gnawing at me. Is this really what I want my life to look like for the next 30 years? Law wasn't just a career, it was a box I was living inside. I was Amber the lawyer, and everything else, my health, my creativity, my freedom, came in second. The law firm that I was at, we had offices that overlooked the White House. We were a block away from the seat of power of the US government. And for a lot of people, this was an enviable position. I was about to make partner at this firm sitting in this city at this level of power. But I knew it really wasn't for me. Even more, Eric traveled a lot for work over those years. And with my billable hours, my work trips, and Eric's schedule, we almost never saw each other. Once we had a date at the Chili's at the airport when one of us was coming and the other one was going. Not an ideal date night. But then came the moment of truth. I was 30 days from making partner, the finish line I had worked towards for over a decade. And instead of celebrating, I felt trapped. When I heard the news, I came home, discussed it with Eric, and we made the decision overnight for me to quit my career and for us to move overseas. I just walked away. To some of my colleagues, it was shocking. To some others, probably not. But who gives up partnership at the largest law firm in the world? And that was me. I knew that if I stayed, I would be saying yes to predictability and no to possibility. Leaving the law was the hardest decision I ever made, but it was also the one that opened every door that came after. Travel, blogging, entrepreneurship, and now trying to reinvent myself once again as I head into my 50s. Sure, there are days as a new home services business owner that I certainly miss the paydays I used to have, but the experiences that we've had over the last 15 years, well, those are priceless. So here's what my first quarter of my adult life has taught me. Hard work will get you anywhere, but it won't make you happy if it's not aligned with what you really want out of life. Second, identity is powerful, but it can also trap you. So don't let your job title define your entire self. And third, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from the life that you built to make space for the life you actually want. I'll probably unpack a lot more of my lawyer life in future episodes, but that was the first quarter of my life, being a lawyer. And in my next episode, I'll share my second quarter, how I traded law for the laptop lifestyle as a digital nomad, how we launched multiple travel blogs and online businesses, and spent over a decade traveling the world. So if this resonated with you, especially if you've ever felt trapped by your career or identity, subscribe and stick around because the quarters of life, they keep unfolding and it's never too late to rewrite your own story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.